Hello my dear students, hello my dear guys. In today's lesson we are going to talk about the gamification methods. So I'm your teacher, Bolatova A. So, 1 minute. What is it? So gamification is the use of game thinking, game logic, and gaming mechanics in a non-gaming context to engage students in solving problems. So history of gamification. Gamified learning has been around for centuries. Gamification started in the early 90s. So let's start. Benefits of gamification. The first one is the progression, levels and the points. Investment, second one, achievements, collaboration, reliability, appointments, and the meaning. So the third one is information theory, bonus, discovery, infinite play, synthesis, and the loss aversion. So the problem and the solution. Gaming statistics. 1.2 million students in the USA fail to graduate high school. According to Joy Lee and Jessica Harmer, the environment of school often results in disengagement, failed outcomes, cheating, and dropping out. 28 million people play Farmville every day. Over 5 million play an average of 45 hours a week of games. The planet spends about 3 billion hours a week playing video and computer games. So, what about the research? Jane McGonigal is being called the leading face of gamification. Two teachers from Columbia University in New York noticed how the gaming concept is invading the real world. Analysts predict that the market will become a multi-billion-dollar industry by 2050. Millions of people spend countless hours gaming, projected to change students' perspective on learning. Gamification can serve as intervention, could absorb teacher resources and teach students that learning only takes place when being rewarded. Thought of was as ways of engagement, provides immediate feedback, gives a sense of accomplishment, reduces sting of failure, provides a sense of control, critical thinking, and the ability to be challenged and overcome those challenges. So, what about the development and the commercialization? So, wait a minute. So, many companies have already incorporated the gaming concept in their business. Crisco has a game called the binary game, which is used to teach people the basics of binary numbers. This game mimics Tetris. AVM has an interactive first-person thinking game called Innovis. This game teaches the complex idea of business management. It gives students the responsibility to make decisions for a fictitious company named after ink. The military has also always used game-based learning, war preparedness, simulations, and the military strategies. They believe when it comes to life or these scenarios. Game-based learning helps to make a better impact on the learner. Although businesses are buying and building different software to accommodate the idea of gamification, schools and education don't. Gamification is not hard or software, but the basic addition of game-based learning in education. Innovation decision process. So, IDP is a process through which an individual or other decision-making unit passes from gaining initial knowledge of an innovation to forming an attitude towards the innovation, to making a decision to adopt or reject to implementations of the new idea, and to confirmation of this decision. So communication channels. the prior conditions, and the first one previous practice, the second one felt needs and the problems, the third innovativeness, fourth one norms of the social system. The first one is the communication channels will be knowledge, persuasion, decision, implementation, and the confirmation. The first one is the knowledge and the knowledge characteristics of the decision-making units, socio-economic, personality variables. Third one, communication behavior. The second one, persuasion, perceived characteristics of the innovation, relative advantage, compatibility, complexity, triability, observability. The third one is a decision. It will be adoption, continued adoption, and the rejection will be late adoption, discontinuous, and the continued rejection. So the fifth one, confirmation. So let's continue our lesson. Gamification decision process timeline. Knowledge will be although gamified techniques and programs in business have been around for decades. The term gamification was coined in 2003 by Nick Pelling. This concept didn't gain popularity until 2010. Persuasion, it will be attitude. Between 2007 and 2010, gamification started gaining more and more popularity. Gamified websites were created for TV shows, and the guest for Learn accepts a class of gardens and into game-based learning environments. Gamification so holds the first summit in San Francisco. The third one is decision, adopt or reject. In 2012, over 45,000 people enrolled in a gamification course through Coursera. Implementation use. Mozilla and other companies implemented gamification into their software. Gartner predicted that in 2012, there would be 70% of global organizations will have at least one gamified aspect. Confirmation reinforcement. Research predicts that gamification will be over a $2.8 billion industry by 2016. With business adopting this innovation, it's forcing its way into education. So, gamification curve. This curve is designed to show the growth of gamification over the past 20 years. Attributes, critical mass, and the change agents. Who will recommend as key change agents in organization, and how the 7 roles of a change agent may be used in your organization to effect positive social change. Key change agents and the young educated and technology leaders. 7 rules of change agents. To develop a need for change, young educators and technology leaders will point the problems in our current education system. They will then express the benefits of gamified learning, establish an information exchange relationship. Change agents will build a rapport with other teachers and students to prove their competence and the importance of the innovation. They will to diagnose problems, and the change agent will observe changing in the learning in a number of different classrooms to analyze the problem of human strategies. To create an intent to change in the client. To translate an intent into action, change agents will work with teacher leaders, opinion leaders to influence other teachers and students. Change agents will give opinion leaders the tools they need for interpersonal communication about innovation. To stabilize adoption and prevent discontinuance. Change agents will help teachers and the students use and establish gamified learning in the classroom. Agents will help create lessons, and the team teach with teachers in order to make the transition and the establishing process easy and continuous. To achieve a terminal relationship. The change will slowly transition out of the picture giving teachers and students the resources they need to become their own change agents and use the innovation to their advantage. So attributes critical mass and the change agents continued. Who would expect to be the innovators and the early adopters in your field of work for innovation you are exploring? The innovators and the early adopters of this gamified learning are teachers and the students that indulge in games on daily, weekly basis. Strategies that should be used to convince other teachers to adapt will be giving them opportunity to observe other teachers, using gamified learning in the classroom, using the try before you buy methods, and showing data with positive results. So let's continue. The need for gaming and the two teachers methods, instructor-led. Benefits can be interactive. Downside with effectiveness of lesson depends on instructor. Computer-based benefits cheap and can take place anytime, anywhere. Downside lacks interactivity. Gamification caters to both methods, allows more student interaction and more practice. Why do we like gamification? So to this question you can answer with these given answers: computer-based, gamification, and instructor-led. So games as a new normal allocate gamification, we can do it. So games as a new and a normal. So let's continue. Which combination of perceived attributes will be best for helping your innovation meet critical mass in industry? Tryability, compatibility, and observability. So do you believe in centralized or decentralized approach will work with best gamified learning, allowing the students and teachers to be exposed and to try innovation beforehand? We put the adoption of the innovation in the client control and the chair in the process of convincing others to adapt. Has the innovation you are proposing to the board already met critical mass in society? If it has not met critical mass, which of the 4 strategies for achieving critical mass do you recommend to the board for innovation? Critical mass for the adoption of gamified learning has not been reached. Systems need to focus on allowing highly respected individuals to help promote the innovations in a positive and effective way. The innovation should be introduced to groups of individuals that appreciate the practices learned from games. These individuals will be easily convince others that the adoption will reach fully critical mass soon. So which combination do you believe in? Centralization and the decentralization approach will work best for the adoption of the innovation you are proposing to the board of directors? Decentralized approach will work best for gamified learning, allowing the students and teachers to expose it and try to the innovations. So let's continue. And why we need the two teaching methods, industrial-led. Benefits can be interactive, and the downside will be the effectiveness of lesson depends on instructors. Why do we like for gamification or gamification? Why do we like? Why we need this gamification? And that caters to both methods and that allows more student interaction and the more practice. So, in the downside lacks interactivity. Benefits will be cheap and they can take place anytime and anywhere. So, in that way, two teaching methods will be interactive and the computer-based. Gamification will be caters to both methods and allows more student interaction and more practice. So thank you very much for your attention, my dear students. At home you must learn by heart this all